Hey everyone, my name is Mary, and this is Am I in the Wrong podcast, where we share our opinions and give advice on relatable stories.
My name is Anne.
My name is Michael.
Okay, so in today's story, we're going to be reading about Am I in the wrong for thinking of breaking up our friendship because my best friend keeps stealing my friends? Ooh. My best friend, 24 female, and I, 24 female, have been friends for a while now, but I'm noticing a pattern here and I'm not sure if I'm overly sensitive or not. Let's call my friend Grace. Grace and I have been friends for about 3 to 4 years. We met in university and have been good friends since. Even in university, I kind of noticed that she wants to befriend all my close friends and make them her best friends. Okay, whatever. We could all hang out together, but she'll go above and beyond and kind of behind my back to make them her best friend. I have another childhood best friend that I've known for about 15 years. Every time I talk about her, Grace jumps in and says, "Oh my gosh, introduce me to her. She sounds so fun." I tried to introduce them together, but my childhood friend was not a big fan of Grace, so that never happened. I also recently made some friends from my yoga class, and once again, Grace mentions one specific friend from my yoga class and talks about her nonstop. How she thinks she's so stylish. I recently found out that she's followed her on IG. She also stole one of my close guy friends from middle school, and now they're best friends. And now flirts with everyone who's in his group. These are just some of the patterns I notice as far as it goes for my friends. I can overlook most of them because I don't own any friendships. I get that. I'm not a child. But this one really bothers me a lot. I broke up with my ex about a year ago. I obviously introduced Grace to my ex back when we were dating because we were good friends. So we would hang out together a lot and even have a couple of people that I've mentioned above as a friend group. Friend groups overlap. It's a good thing and we all get along so well. Here's the thing. We broke up, and now my ex and my best friend hang out all the time. Oh, that's not okay. Although my ex and I are in great terms and are planning on being civil with each other since our other friend groups overlap a bit. Grace, my ex's friends, are now a big group who does everything together. For those wondering if they're seeing each other, they're not. Grace has even dated one of my ex's friends for a bit. This whole thing is weird, right? Grace now acts like she's replaced me in every way possible. She even started going to my ex's volunteering group, an animal society, that I also used to volunteer at back when I was dating my ex. And doesn't stop talking about how everyone at the society thinks her and my ex are dating, and she's tired of correcting people. I know people have their own ideas of stealing friends, but am I really in the wrong for thinking this way? Is Grace just being friendly? And is a good friend to everyone? Am I overthinking it and being overly sensitive? What do you guys think?
I don't think she's in the wrong for this situation because I feel as though there's a lot of evidence pointing to it, and it's something that's been building up for years. And with the looks of it, she is because she's trying to push herself to be friends with every single person you're friends with, and it's like she's trying to be you in a way, which is, lack of a better word, weird. But I feel as though, in addition to that, the way she brought up the topic about how they keep confusing her and your ex of like how he keeps saying, "Oh, they look like they're dating." I feel so that's weird in general because if you're not interested, it wouldn't be something you feel as though it's to the point where you want to keep bringing it up over and over, or feel like you want to be bragging about it. Because at that point, it feels as though she's bragging about it, and I don't think that's of what friends do.
I feel as though her feelings are valid. Like, obviously, coincidence, once they start adding up and they become a lot, it can seem as if it's done on purpose in a way, but I do feel like she needs to sit down and have an actual conversation with her friend Grace to, because sometimes we do things, but subconsciously we don't know that we're doing those things. So I feel like a honest conversation with just them two involved would be the best way to go about it.
I agree with that. Based on her question, is Grace just being friendly and is a good friend to everyone? Like, I agree, kind of like what you were saying on that, Mary, because to answer her question, like, we could never know what Grace's true intentions are because there was never an actual conversation had with Grace and the person writing the story. At least she didn't mention one. So Grace could just, like, always have been this way, always just be overly friendly, and just, like, nobody has ever told her not to do that. So she's just, like, grown up to, like, always be that, like, overly friendly person. So I think what needs to happen is like a conversation that happened or like a reflection on any and everybody's part. And simply like, Grace, you're being a little bit like overly friendly, and yes, like you think you're being friendly, but it can be taken as weird. And Grace could be like, oh my gosh, I never noticed that, or she could be defensive. It doesn't really matter the way she reacts, but what needs to happen is the person writing the story should like, handle it in a better way instead of just like feeling a certain way about it, but not actually responding.
One thing that I will say is that once you establish boundaries, if they are being crossed, then that's when you can have a conversation. That's when something else needs to happen.
I feel so you definitely need to have your communication. You need to work on communication or talk with this friend, like they both said. Because if you don't sit down and have a conversation with them, it's just what you're thinking. And I, there's a great quote I like to hear. It's like there's always two sides to a story, or three sides to a story. Your side, their side, and the actual truth. I feel as though you definitely need to sit them down and have the conversation. And if they don't change after that conversation, like Mary said, if they don't, if they violate the boundaries that were already set, then there's something wrong with that, and then there's something definitely wrong with that.
Okay.
Any last thoughts?
Before we, yeah, I was gonna say that. Before we end it really quickly, what do you guys think about the whole X thing? Because like that was mentioned like a fair bit at the end of the story. Like, what do you guys think of the friend getting closer to X? Because even though, like I said before, she could just be an overly friendly person, I feel like a best friend and her best friend's ex is kind of like an odd mix. What do you guys think?
I definitely feel so with that. It's like I understand you're like, oh, she already did it one of his friends, then there's no way they're together. But I'm like, just be careful, but just at this point let it go. Because if I understand you and your ex agreed on staying on good terms, but if it's looking like that, I feel as though you just need to remove yourself from trouble.
I agree. That should be brought up in a conversation, definitely.
Any last thoughts?
No,
I
Okay.
don't think you're in the wrong.
Yeah,
me
me
either.
neither. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in to our Am I in the Wrong podcast. We'll be posting a couple more later, and we would like to see what you guys think about it. So leave comments and tune in for our next episodes. This is the Am I in the Wrong podcast for the last time. Bye.